got Alex Taraiev, who's a CPCA and a consultant with Investors Group Financial Services. He's going to discuss principles from going capital from $20,000 to $1 million. Alex is a young entrepreneur with a passion for helping individuals achieve their financial goals. He joined Investors Group in 2014 and he's been in the financial services industry since 2009. Please welcome Alex.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to start with appreciation to all of those organizations that have contributed to this event. Ukrainian Canadian Professional Business Association, Ukrainian Canadian Bar Association, Ukrainian Canadian Social Services as well. And specifically I want to say thank you to Taraiev, who put a lot of work in it, unseen work, and they deserve a round of applause. Myself, I'll thank you, Nadia, for introduction. I'll start with introduction myself as well. So I am a first-generation immigrant of my family in Canada. I came here almost 5 years ago. I started with Investors Group 3.5 years ago. I started as an intern. I moved up to the assistant division consultant, and then I became consultant myself as soon as I got my permanent residence. I go by Alex because most of the Canadians, they cannot pronounce Olexandr. So Investors Group is a Canadian company. We've been around for over 90 years, and we have over $130 billion assets under management. We are a subsidiary of Power Financial Corporation that has close to $800 billion assets under management, US dollars. So I'd like to start with some statistics that would trigger your interest and some of your probably donors' interest as well, and you'll have better understanding what is actually happening in this industry here. So 83% of Canadians give to charities, but little planning goes into their charitable giving. Charitable giving is a huge business. Over the next 2 decades, more than $8 trillion will be passed from one generation to the next one, and from 25 to 30% of it will be donated to charities. Donor-advised funds are among the fastest growing philanthropic vehicles. Now, question, who knows what is donor-advised foundations? Have you ever heard of it? Thank you. Canadians are very generous. $8.5 billion were contributed to charitable organizations in 2011. Public and private foundations held about $73 billion in assets and made $5.7 billion in grants. Now, approximately 20% of Canadian donors want to become more proactive and strategic with their charitable giving. And they feel like they need more comprehensive planning around it and to understand what exactly needs to be done, what kind of investments or source of the donation they need to use. So now we've named this event as a knowledge hub, so I'll be giving you some concepts that you can use with some of your donors. I'm here to help you if you'll have any questions. I'll be brief in that. So what are the options in Canada? Pretty much we have a few of them. It is direct giving, where you are giving out the cash, or you do estate gifts, including life insurance or real property. You can consider private foundations for your donations and also donor-advised funds. So here we have community foundations and we have institutional programs. So the first concept that I'd like to share with you is, I've called it Investors Group Charitable Giving Program. So there are a few financial institutions that provide this kind of programs. Idea is that it's equivalent to private foundation with all the features and benefits, however, without the hassle of administration cost or any upfront fees. So you have pretty much a private foundation that you can utilize for your future donations. You will have successors as well, like you can get involved your future generation as well, who will be deciding what are their organizations or institutions that you'd like to donate money to on yearly basis, right? So I'll move on to the second one. Pretty much it's life insurance. Somebody was asking about insurance as well. So idea is that for the donors, life insurance is the cheapest way to contribute to charitable foundations. Why? Because think about it in this way. Imagine that you have a couple, 60 years old, both of them. They'd like to make a donation to their favorite charitable foundation. Let's say it's $1 million, right? They are applying for universal life insurance, and it's a level cost premium, minimum funded policy, and they setting up their charitable foundation as the beneficiary. Now you have to keep in mind that once you still set up charitable foundation as the beneficiary, accountants can prove that point, you are qualifying for tax credits. All those premiums that you're paying, CRA is considering as the donation that you're making to charitable foundation. Now for business owners, it's important to keep in mind that most of the times you would need to keep insurance policy within your corporation. So in terms of benefit, after all the tax credits, pretty much you are paying $13,257 to the premiums in the end of for 20 years, and then you are getting $1 million. Your charitable foundation is getting $1 million. So you basically you're putting in $250,000 for that, and your charitable foundation is getting $1 million. So that's the second concept. Another concept is you're combining annuity and you're combining life insurance. Who's aware of what's annuity? No. Idea is that you have a chunk of money that you are using and you're getting payments for your entire life. A portion of it you used to cover your premiums for the life insurance. So in this way you are building the life stream, the income stream for your lifetime, and you're qualifying for the tax credits as well. So another thing that you can utilize is charitable remainder trust. Here you are agreeing to donate money to the charitable foundation. Charitable foundation is agreeing to put them in a charitable remainder trust. And you are, as the donor, you getting the growth from the charitable trust. Upon your death, charitable foundation is getting money from that. Now, another one is RSP, we call it RSP wash. Here, you are considering your RSP as a donation strategy. So a lot of people are thinking, what do we have to do with that? And yes, there are some tax implications upon the death. If, let's say, you have a spouse deal, you can do a spousal rollover, or if you have to leave funds to a financially dependent child or grandchild, it can either be taxed in hands of the child or grandchild, or used to buy a term annuity to the age of 18. Now, idea here, imagine that you have a John Smith who's 60 years old, his annual income $150,000, he has $750,000 in his RSP, and he would like to make a contribution to the charitable foundation. So, solution is that he liquidates $50,000 from his RSP portfolio and uses them for that John Smith charitable giving fund. So as a result, he's getting $50,000 as a taxable income, which brings him, let's say, assumes 45% marginal tax bracket. It brings him to $22,500 as a taxable taxes that he would need to pay. However, because he has donated to the charitable foundation, he's getting tax receipt for this $50,000. So he's offsetting that taxes that he would need to pay. With this kind of strategies, you can apply them with some of your donors and help them to understand what would be the solution, how to donate better to the charitable foundations. In terms of asset management and investment solutions, Investors Group has developed some unique investment that called Micropod. Ideas here that we've put together biggest asset management companies in the world, like these ones, and we have them as a sub-advisors. So you have this these guys, including investors, will manage your funds, and we pick and choose them based on qualifying criteria and time horizon, and etc. So we have a few models for the I profile, again, based on the conservative or risk tolerance. And this is so far is the best investment type that I've seen out there, because the qualifying criteria that you need to have at least, or your organization needs to have at least $250,000. And all my clients that I have this amount of assets, as much as I can, I put in my profile to get an exposure to these kind of companies. In terms of how it works, we imagine that we have a pools there, it's managed pool by these companies, and we choose the best asset management companies within that specific type of investment that are helping to manage this portion of that pool. And fees, again, it all depends on the model, depends on amount of money that you're investing, and time horizon as well, but it can go as low as 0.75%, which is huge because most of the people are talking about ETFs, index funds, what's more competitive, what makes sense, and those people who's aware of that, they have a good understanding that 75 basis points is pretty low.